So what's next? We just did the Pan-American Highway. So now what? Are we gonna ship home? Are we going to Antarctica? Are we selling the van here? No more van life? We made it from the Arctic Ocean in Dead Horse, Alaska, all the way down here to Ushuaia, Argentina, at the end of the longest road in the world. We've been living in this van for 4 years. It took us 3.5 to complete the entire Pan-American Highway. During a pandemic, new dog introduced, vans breaking down.
Oh my god.
It's been a wild ride.
Doing the whole Pan-American Highway wasn't our goal when we started out. We were just gonna do the States for a year, and then we decided, well, let's try Alaska. If that goes well, we'll try going to Mexico. If that goes well, we'll keep going. Here we are at the end of the Pan-American Highway. And every mile we drove, the goal felt more achievable, making it to the end of the Pan Am.
And we did it! But what's next? We aren't shipping home yet, but we are going to ship home eventually. Selling the van down here can get pretty complicated, and we have so much stuff now that we've collected. So first, we're heading north. Not all the way back to the US north, but north up to Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay. Very slowly, as usual, and then we'll be shipping the van back from Uruguay to the United States.
We don't really know a lot about Paraguay, Uruguay. If you guys have any ideas of cool things there, definitely let us know in the comments. That would be super helpful. There are other countries to explore, so I think it's worth it, and I'm sure we're gonna find a lot of things to love. I know already that Uruguay speaks similar accent to Argentina. Paraguay, apparently most of the population's like in the very bottom, so I'd kind of like to explore that.
In Paraguay, they add a lot of indigenous words to their speech, and they have mixed their communities a lot, so that'll be very interesting.
Of course, in that part of the world, you got Iguazu Falls. You know, we've been a little worried about Brazil, but we have met some Brazilian van lifers lately.
Lots of Brazilian van lifers.
Yeah, some really cool friends we've made, and that has definitely made Brazil feel like a good option as well. I mean, hopefully with the van's help, you know. Every day I feel like I'm hearing a new sound, and the real reason to go to Brazil is that Graham said he wants to go. Apparently he's got some extended family there.
Right this second, we are really trying to make it to Antarctica. Honestly, it's been so hard to find someone to watch Graham. Anyone that likes cats has cats. If they have a cat, the cat probably is a little bit territorial and doesn't really want to hang out with our cat. We want him to be in a very safe place, doors that don't open to streets in case he runs out, stuff like that. So we've been working really hard to find Graham a spot. We've already found Sombrita a spot, of course, because she's very lovey and wants to play with dogs, so it wasn't very hard to find her someone to hang out with for a 10-day trip to Antarctica. It is a pretty long trip, so we're a little bit nervous about leaving our pets for that long, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're being really careful because Graham, he's not like the dog, you know, and he needs to have privacy, so you can't just go to the vet and say, watch my cat. That's not how it works. And even with the dog, of course, we want her to be happy. We're being super careful.
To find Graham a place, we've talked to every dog watcher, pet store, vet, even baristas.
Yeah, I even had a couple of my skate park friends consider it. We've already missed the best deal that we were really trying to get because we haven't found a spot for Graham. So at this point, are we gonna make it to Antarctica? It's up in the air. We're really trying to get there because that will be the 7th continent.
For both of us.
For both of us. Not only the 7th continent for both of us, but we've been to all the other continents together. So if we can get to Antarctica together, that's gonna be nice. It's honestly been really hard because getting to the end of the Pan-American Highway was the goal, and now that you're there, it's like, what am I doing with my life?
Why did I have such a finite goal?
Yeah, so Antarctica to continue south would just be like the icing on the Pan-American cake.
Luckily, there are ships every single day that leave, and with the last minute deals, we can hop on any of them as soon as we find a spot for Graham.
Assuming we can go to Antarctica, the way these trips work, it is kind of like a cruise, you know, where you can have like really nice food and a nice room, but a cruise that crosses the most dangerous ocean in the world. That's called the Drake Passage. Fortunately for Argentina, we are already very far south, the farthest south in the world. Antarctica has a peninsula shooting up. You still have to go pretty far. It takes 2 days to go across the Drake Passage because it is that choke point between oceans. The currents, the winds, the storms just go through like crazy. Just to be able to set foot on the continent together after driving here.
That is our ultimate goal for sure.
Really hoping to take you guys along to Antarctica.
So what's gonna happen whenever we make it back to the US? Honestly, we are not very sure. We definitely want to continue living in a van, whether it's this van or a new one that we build out ourselves. We're not sure. This van has obviously given us a lot of problems, as you guys know, and if we want to take it to another continent again, I don't want to be relying on everyone bringing in parts for us all the time. It just has added such a level to this van life. If we could have a van or a home that we can travel around in for long term that is available around the world, that's what I would love to do. Our van is perfect for the US. Traveling around the US, Canada, and Mexico, maybe a little bit into Guatemala. This is a great van. We're all the way down in Argentina and they do not have this van. And they also don't have this van in Europe. So it makes it pretty complicated for us. I want to just eliminate that complication from our life.
Yeah, I do love ProMasters, and you know, it is very similar externally to a lot of other vans. There's one by Fiat, Renault, Citroën, Peugeot. All those vans, they share the windows, door handles, the mirrors. You can find those kind of things here if you can figure out who's going to sell that to you and whatnot. There is definitely some hoops to jump through. When it comes to the engine, it's not the same as on those vans. They do have this engine in Jeeps, so some vehicles down here do have this engine, but you know, anything that goes from the engine to the body, like the drivetrain, is not going to be available down here. So that's why the ProMaster has been such a tricky choice. Plus, we have gone on some pretty wild roads. So next van, we're thinking something more off-roadable. I think at this point, we're leaning towards a Sprinter, because you see a lot of Sprinters down here. You see Sprinters everywhere.
Yeah, it's the tour agency car. There's Mercedes dealerships everywhere.
A lot of these tour Sprinters are going on some really sketchy roads. Parts are available when something goes wrong, more importantly. We're already up to 170,000 miles now. So
it's running fine though. I mean, our problems, I think, aren't really the van failing. It's the stress that we put it through, and then also just the stress that we have whenever something small fails and we can't find it.
Yeah, normal wear and tear, a lot of it. You
Yeah.
just can't fix that here unless if you get someone to bring it in their luggage. And like with my parents, Argentina wanted to confiscate it at first, and then they charged like 50% the value, ship it down the cost of the shipping. So yeah, so it's just really hard down here with the ProMaster, honestly.
So I'm really excited that we'll be showing you guys start to finish what it'll be like. Pick out a new van, find a new van, show our plans to build it out, and we're not going to stop traveling. We are that is definitely something that we want to continue doing.
If you have any tips about a rig that you think would be right for us,
Yeah,
that's
be great.
affordable, because we're not going to buy some crazy $1 million thing.
No.
Like, we want to do it well, as cheaply as we can.
I mean, the van for us is best to be able to be in the front seat very easily, but we're still thinking about it. We might not even do a van. We might do something completely different.
we're thinking about it,
We've got pros and cons lists all over the place.
But basically, ship back after we finish South America to the States, sell this van, get another van, build it out, and then where are we going?
I'm thinking we're going to Europe.
I think we're going to Europe. You know, we really love skiing with the van. In the States, it was epic. Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, loved it. Doing that in South America was also really nice. But it seems like the mountains in Europe would be 100% epic.
Even though I've been traveling for 4 years non-stop, I've only been to 23 countries, which is a lot of countries, of course. But in Europe, you check another country off every other day, and I'd like to get some higher numbers.
Yeah, it's really cool traveling slowly though, and we have a deep experience of these countries. That is the best thing about van travel that we want to keep doing.
But one thing is for sure, we love bringing you guys along for all of these adventures, and we're going to keep making beautiful videos to share. I have loved our traveling life on the Pan American Highway, but I am kind of excited to go back to my hometown, Philadelphia, which I haven't been to in almost a year and a half now. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you can see all of our future adventures. We're going to be making a new van soon, so you'll definitely want to see that so that you can make it along with us. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.